Hey everybody, this is Lieutenant Zetwick here with the 4th Spokane Battalion Sea Cadets. I wanted to do a quick tutorial with our thumb drive that we issue out to our cadets. Um, so when you plug in your thumb drive, when you get your thumb drive, it's pretty exciting. You're starting your new journey in the Sea Cadets. So basically, what I wanted to do is go through the important parts of what is all laid out here in front of you, so that way you don't get overwhelmed. The first thing I want to go over, because it's the most important thing, in my opinion, is the coursework. Everybody wants to get their coursework done so they can get their uniforms. So let's go ahead and go over that real quick. Right here is listed out all your courses that you'll need to complete while you're a Sea Cadet, and of course, this is your answer sheet. Let's talk about this answer sheet real quick. When you fill this out, it's one answer sheet per assignment, and I'll detail what's in an assignment on the different courses here in a second. But what you want to put is your last name, first name. You don't have to worry about your date of birth or social or email, but put your last name, first name, course name, and then the assignment number. Those are pertinent to making sure that we're able to grade it for you when you've turned them in. So make sure you have those filled out on this form before you send it to us. Let's talk about the BMRs. So I understand these can be a little daunting, especially when there's 728 pages here. But with persistence, you can get this knocked out pretty easily. So what you want to do is, let's open this in a separate window here. You want to work with both of these open because you can answer as you go. Okay, so what you do is you have your assignment here, and each assignment covers certain chapters in the book. Assignment 1 covers chapters 1 and chapters 2, and this is where you can look at on all of your coursework assignments to see what areas of the book here that is covered in the questions. So generally half of the questions and the assignments go to chapter 1, the other half goes to chapter 2. And they all go in chronological order, okay? So if you find an answer to number 2 before you find an answer to number 1, you know you've already passed the answer for number 1. It's somewhere before answer number 2. I hope that makes sense. So, but yes, they are in chronological order. And the great thing is, with technology, is you could do keyword searches. So with Mac, you could do Command F. I'm not sure what it is with Windows. But say you want to look up, where's biological listed in here? Okay, so let's look up biological. All right, so it's going to highlight all of the areas where biological is listed, and that will help you find the answer to what you're looking for. Okay, and I don't expect cadets to know all of this because it's just too much information to have, a very thorough, understanding of it all. I want you to have a general understanding, and by answering these questions and filling, and passing your courses, we then know that you have a general knowledge of the course, and that's our goal. Okay, we don't want you to memorize all this stuff. We just want you to know, what it is. So, and the other thing I want to bring up is that. With the BMR, there's no test. There's no test after that. Or the Seaman course, it goes BMR, Seaman, then PO3, PO2, PO1, and then your Chief course. The only courses that have tests after you complete them is the PO3, 2, and 1. And those are advancement tests. And each of those tests can include questions from all the preceding courses that you've taken. So if you take PO3, there could be questions in there that are on Seaman and the BMR courses. So what you want to do is definitely brush up on those courses before you take your PO3 test. And the same with PO2, there could be stuff from PO3, Seaman, and BMRs in there. So you just want to review that stuff pretty regularly. Again, we don't expect you to have a thorough knowledge of all this, but we expect you to have a general knowledge. So that pretty much covers coursework for the most part. So let's go ahead and close that down real quick. And of course, like I said, one answer sheet per assignment. So when you turn in the BMRs, you're going to have 15 assignment pages. So 15 answer sheets. So let's go ahead and go back to basic knowledge. That's the other important thing. Definitely before you go to RT, there's a few things you really want to know for sure. And that's the 11 general orders here. You're going to want to memorize those. You're also going to want to memorize your Sailor's Creed and your chain of command. The Sailor's Creed is important because we're going to, anytime you go for an awards board, you're going to have to recite the Sailor's Creed the first thing when you enter the board. So that's something that you're going to have to know your entire Sea Cadet tenure. As far as the chain of command goes, when you go to RT, it's best if you know all the names listed on the first page here, okay? Because that's your national chain of command level, okay? When you get down to the page 2 and 3, that's your local chain of command. That's our command here in Spokane, and you don't necessarily have to memorize that before going to RT. But during inspection time, they might ask who is your commanding officer, who is your officer in charge, so it's good to know this stuff, and here's where you're able to look it up. Also, know your military time. Rank identification is important. Phonetic alphabet. The knots and the semaphore here, those are generally used for flagship events, but I wanted to include those because that's important information to know too, because if you get assigned to those teams on flagship, then you'll at least know where to go to study this stuff. Sea Cadet manuals, this is all of our regulations, okay? Everything you need to know about Sea Cadets is listed here. The awards manual is a popular manual because, of course, it includes all of our awards. So here's where you can actually look up all the ribbons and what you need to do to get those ribbons, what you need to do to earn them. So, citation ribbon, here it lists out the things that you need to, the criteria you need to meet before being awarded this ribbon. And of course, there's a photo, there's an image of the ribbon itself as well. So definitely use that as a resource. Parents, I encourage you to peruse through the Parents Handbook here. This has a lot of information about advanced trainings and general knowledge about the Sea Cadets. Please take some time to go through this and review it with your cadet as well, so that way you all have a general knowledge of the Sea Cadet program and basically what we're all about. So, but yeah, everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. You have your advanced training checklist. This is what you'll look at before you go to a RT or any other advanced training. It gives you step-by-step procedures. So please review this before you try to sign up for an advanced training. Awards boards procedures. Once a year we have awards boards, and those who perform to a higher standard, those who exceed expectations are allowed the opportunity to present their knowledge in front of a board. And reading through this will get you prepared for that board. Let's see. The pamphlet, this is what all new prospective cadets receive. We highly encourage that you send this out to your friends if they're interested. The SOP is something that's required for every command, and it basically it's a more in-depth regulations that add on to the national regulations of the Sea Cadets. It's command focused, so it's for us. Important Sea Cadet links, of course. You have your home port, where all your administrative stuff and your coursework is at. You have your national web page, our web page, our Facebook page, and of course Vanguard is where you can order uniform components. If you lose your uniform components, you'll have to replace them, and you can order them through there. They are the supplier for the Sea Cadets. The syllabus course here is for lead cadets. Those are our cadets ages 10 through 13. So if you don't, fall into the Lead Cadet Corps, you don't need to worry about this. But this is very similar to the coursework that the Sea Cadets have to complete, but on a more toned-down version. So, again, basically what you want to do is you want to read through this stuff, and you want to answer the questions that follow. Okay, and these are the questions here. You answer those, and then you turn the answer sheet in to your officer in charge. They grade them, and then uh, after each of these assignments is a test. So after the apprentice cadet, once you've completed the whole apprentice cadet, then you take the test. And then once you complete the able cadet, you take the test. So yeah, this is basically all the lead cadet course. Post drill checklist and the pre drill checklist, definitely look at those before and after drill, so to help yourself prepare for our next event. Uniform care list, we do ask that NWUs be laundered in your regular laundry, no ironing or anything like that. Dress blues and dress whites must be dry cleaned. And please don't put those in your regular laundry, please. Uniforms, make sure that all patches are sewn on. Please do not use glue or anything like that. Please make sure they are appropriately sewn on. Your parka, no patches or name tapes are to be sewn onto the parka. That way, because as soon as you start poking holes in the parka, it ruins the integrity and it could destroy it. So please don't do that. We want you to have pride in your appearance, and we want you to be a good representative of yourself, the Sea Cadets, and the United States Navy. So your uniforms are a reflection of that. So please take care of those, and definitely have a lot of pride in your appearance when you're with our program. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or concerns, definitely talk to your chain of command. Cadets, talk to squad leaders, assistant LPO and LPO, as well as your chiefs. Utilize those resources. Those cadets are very knowledgeable, and they can help you out. But if nothing else, good luck on your coursework. Get it knocked out, and we'll see you at drill.